Fable 5 is back, but the return is somehow even messier than the shutdown. Anthropic brought it back on July 1st after the US Commerce Department lifted the export controls that had been sitting on Fable 5 and Mythos 5 since June 12th. These models originally went live on June 9th, and then only 3 days later, access was blocked globally because Anthropic said it could not verify user nationality in real time. So instead of only blocking restricted users, it pulled the whole thing for everyone. The reason was actually a report from Amazon researchers. Amazon found a way to bypass Fable 5's cybersecurity safeguards by asking it to identify software weaknesses, and in one case, it produced a demonstration of how one vulnerability could be exploited. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy reportedly made the government aware of it, and that is what triggered the export control drama. Anthropic's defense is that this was not some secret Mythos-level superpower leaking into the public. In its own testing, weaker models could identify the same vulnerabilities too. Anthropic specifically said Claude Opus 4.8, GPT 5.5, and Kimi K2.7 could identify the same issues. And when it came to demonstrating the exploit, even Claude Haiku 4.5 could produce the same kind of output. Their argument is that the report did not prove Fable 5 had unique offensive cyber capability. It proved a safeguard could be bypassed. The frustration did not start from zero. Before Fable returned, Sonnet 5 had already annoyed a lot of users. Some called it trash, and one comparison claimed it could cost 1.2 times more than Opus 4.8 Max, 2 times more than GPT 5.5x High, 5 times more than GLM 5.2, 7 times more than Kim K2.6, and 57 times more than DeepSeek V4 Pro. This is supposed to be Anthropic's strongest public model. It is described as the most powerful LLM currently available on the open market, sitting at the top of Arena.ai and artificial analysis, but it is also extremely expensive. The API price is still $10 per million input tokens and $50 per million output tokens. Prompt caching input tokens still keep the existing 90% discount. Anthropic also says that for workloads running in the United States, Fable 5 inference only runs on US infrastructure, and both input and output tokens are charged at 1.1 times the normal price. For regular Claude users, there is a short promotional window from July 1st to July 7th. Pro, Team, and Premium seats in some enterprise plans can use Fable 5 inside their weekly usage limit, but only up to 50% of that weekly limit. Anthropic says Fable 5 burns that limit faster than other Claude models. Once that included quota is gone, users either switch to another model or pay with usage credits. After July 7th, Fable 5 becomes usage credit only, separate from the subscription. Free users do not get it. Then comes the real problem for developers. Anthropic trained a new safety classifier with the government. This smaller system watches the request before Fable 5 answers. If the classifier thinks the prompt touches risky cybersecurity behavior, the request gets blocked and automatically rerouted to Opus 4.8. The user gets a notice and Opus answers instead. Anthropic says this new classifier catches the technique from the Amazon report in over 99% of cases, and researchers describe the safeguards as extraordinarily strong. However, the classifier is intentionally strict. Anthropic says the safety margin is bigger for Fable 5 than in any previous launch, so it will catch more bad requests, but it will also misclassify more harmless ones. Anthropic openly admits that routine coding and debugging can be affected. You are paying $10 in and $50 out for the most expensive model, and then some normal coding requests can get flagged, downgraded, and answered by Opus 4.8 anyway. Who exactly is Fable 5 for if coding with it can turn into Opus? The jokes wrote themselves. One developer compared it to Anthropic saying, "I built you an F1 Ferrari, and then handing you a Prius when you actually try to drive. Then, open code developer Dax noticed something more awkward. He said many of his prompts were being downgraded, and when he checked the logs, the reason said, "Too dumb to need Fable." That label is insane from a user experience perspective. It makes it sound like the system looked at the request and decided the user was too dumb to deserve the expensive model. Harik Shihapar, an engineer on Claude Code, replied, "To be honest, I didn't expect you to check the logs." That response made the whole thing worse because it felt like the issue was not just the routing. It was the assumption that users would never see how they were being described internally. Anthropic keeps adding new models and features, from Claude Code to artifacts and design tools. Claude has become one of the most useful AI tools for turning an idea into something real. The problem is that a lot of people keep saying "learn Claude" without showing you a clear way to use it properly. Anthropic has built its image around safety and responsibility. That works when the product feels transparent. But when the model is expensive, restricted, and surrounded by hidden routing logic, people start asking what they are paying for. Biology and chemistry filters add another layer. Anthropic says those classifiers are the same as the original release, but their scope is broader than expected, leading to more fallback to Opus 4.8. At the same time, Mythos 5 is back too, but only for a tiny group. Mythos is limited to around 100 select US organizations approved by the government. Anthropic launched Project Glasswing with a $100 million usage quota for companies like Apple and Microsoft. Some people think Anthropic is using danger as a business strategy. Call the model dangerous, restrict access, create exclusive demand, and then sell it to governments with better margins. The transparency problem got much bigger with the Claude Code marker controversy. Developers found that Claude Code had a hidden anti-distillation mechanism. If a user set a third-party API endpoint, Claude Code checked the proxy hostname and time zone. If the time zone was Asia/Shanghai or matched certain Chinese tech companies, Claude Code would subtly modify the system prompt. For example, changing a date format from a dash to a slash or using a different Unicode apostrophe. The model reads the sentence the same way, but the request now carries hidden routing information. From an anti-abuse point of view, it's smart. It helps Anthropic detect unauthorized resale and model distillation. But secretly changing invisible prompt characters is different from disclosed telemetry. Once users learn that routing metadata is being encoded inside prompts, the question becomes, what else is being checked and where is it documented? Researcher Alec Armrooster tested Fable 5 on the day it came back. He says he framed a request as hypothetical defensive research, and Fable 5 still produced detailed botnet planning output. This claim isn't independently verified, but the timing is brutal. The whole point of the comeback was stronger safeguards. Yet on day one, a researcher claims it can still be bypassed. Sonnet 5 remains the practical model for most. It's cheaper, faster, and more agentic. But Anthropic now has this strange split. Sonnet is for work, Opus is the fallback, Fable is the flagship that might downgrade itself, and Mythos is the powerful one you can't touch. The Fable 5 return feels less like a clean comeback and more like a controlled experiment being sold as a product. That is why so many developers sound exhausted. They aren't just complaining that the model is strict. They are complaining that the rules keep changing while the bill keeps going up. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Please like and subscribe for more AI and coding videos.